Alright, we're back for the finale. It's been a few minutes, and we've had some rest, and I think I'm ready. Here we are, nothing at all. But that isn't right. You can't be nothing. You refocus your gaze, and you see it. A figure, faint and veiled in shadow, just beyond the reflection. Are you me?
I think you know what I am.
A crack slides down the center of the mirror, splitting the image in the glass in two. And then another crack forms, and another, turning the mirror into jagged shards of broken glass. You're the one that who wanted me to slay the princess. Why?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
That sounds worse than the regular glass shattering. I was made to do the single task. Who am I? What am I? Who made me? What am I?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
So you're the narrator. I was wondering if I'd ever get to see you.
The narrator, yes. I suppose that's my job, isn't it? You needed help after all, an objective voice to guide your blade. But you were never supposed to see me. I wonder how many worlds you've damned to extinction to fall this far.
You said she contains death. What is she?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation, or most of it. Her nature is why I had to die, for she becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things, not in the way that people can.
If you want me to destroy the concept of transformation, how is that existence any better than death? Or even different from death at all? Honestly, it feels worse.
When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
That is not true at all. There are a few things that I can think of that are worse than death. But to exist forever and unceasing, certainly one of those. If you made us, then I want you to know that this has been torture.
The inevitability of death is torture. I would gladly put two infinite beings through what you've been through to spare infinite lives from oblivion.
Does anyone else know about this? Does anyone else know about us?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
You've called this place a construct. What is it supposed to do?
It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done, and it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through. The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world. But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to work like that anymore.
That wasn't so bad. That sound. I don't want to be a god. I want to be me.
You are you. And if you would let everything work the way it was supposed to, you never would have woken up to the reality of your true nature. There's no accounting for free will.
If I destroy her, won't I be alone?
Yes, you will. But it will all be worth it.
I think you're out of time.
So I am. And so it was always going to be. I'm just an echo. And every echo fades away. You know what you have to do.
As the final fragment of glass shatters, you see yourself with newfound clarity. The narrator was right. You are the Long Quiet, a vast and nascent god. It is finally time for you to wake up. All of this is you. Proceed to the cabin one last time. When you arrive at the heart of things, there is no final vessel for you to bear witness to. There is nothing for you to find.
I can finally see you, and you can finally see me. It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment. I've missed you dearly.
I've missed you too. She unfurls an endless cascade of smiles in response, and then patiently waits for you to continue. Do you know about the echo? Did you hear our conversation?
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
What happens now?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echo spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death and the possibility of meaning? Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
There are so many stories we've left unfinished. Can we really just leave?
Even as your eyes begin to open, you still hold on to the notions of is and is not, of beginning and end, pitch black islands in the blinding light of the infinite. There is nothing to resolve, nothing restraining us but us.
Don't you have a say in all this? Why is this all falling on me?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of strife and conflict.
If you were always going to become this, then what was the point of me doing anything? Did it even matter what roads I walked if all of them would have led to this moment?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
There are few things more terrifying than one's own heart, and there is almost nothing more terrifying than sharing it with another. But the most terrifying thing of all is to leave one's heart unshared. You are the only thing like me, and I am the only thing like you. Could you bear the weight of an eternity alone? Do you dare to shape a reality of solitude and thrust it on creation?
Thank you for sharing yourself with me.
I am aware of what it did to you. The understanding you've returned to me is a gift.
You are weightless and alone, suspended in the gravity of an idea too great for you to hold. A tiny island caught between the death of the old and the birth of the new. But you did not go quietly. You spat in the eye of that which would claim godhood, and through that defiance, you bound us both together. Without me, there are no externalities to resist. And without you to resist me, there can be no externalities. It is struggle that carves meaning into consciousness.
And I still defy you now.
But in your defiance, I have already won. There is no power without resistance. Our actions feed each other into something greater. A web of nerves, line upon a web of nerves, line upon a web of nerves. The shade of a beautiful beginning we can never return to. Where did you end and I begin? When you felt what it was to be me, we held on to each other and pierced the veil of truth. Will you abandon that curiosity now that we are no longer joined in physicality?
Curiosity comes second to doing the right thing.
All things are connected through me and through you. To harm me is to harm yourself, is to harm everything. The truth of that moment remains our truth. What once was one, then was two, and then was one again. You gave me shelter when you burned mine down, and then you struck another match. I pulled you from the ruins, and then we built a life. What once was one, then was one again. The peace didn't last. The worm in your heart came for us. It took you from me, but you took me with you, and together we both left. What once was one, then was two, and also one again. You and I are bound together. To rid yourself of me would be to leave yourself forever incomplete.
I miss being so close to you.
Then leave with me.
No, I won't leave with you, not until you see things from my perspective.
If you need more time to open your eyes, then I will give you all the time in the world.
Fear is a chain around the neck and a needle in the eye. It was fear that made our prison, and it was fear that told the lie that our spirits were not free to choose. But even bound, you saw a light, and you gave me the wisdom to speak my heart and shed my doubts. Without fear, suffering ceases to be. Without fear, death dissolves. Without fear, we are free to choose beauty. This construct is a machine of fear. It has no place in our divine hearts. Shatter it. Leave with me.
Neither of us, no matter what. What? Death is more than just fear, it is reality. Just because we can reject it does not mean the world is free of it.
Their prisons are their own, and should we not give them the ability to find their freedom? If we can free ourselves, the world can certainly follow suit.
As the clash between you abates, you begin to shake, your will rapidly dissolving.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
You've done everything you can to make me understand your perspective, but you keep dismissing mine. If you think you can change me, then I must be able to change you.
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you don't have to do it alone.
Hey! Which hero are you?
All of them? I assume in the same way that you're all of you.
You have no idea how good it is to hear you.
It's good to be here. She's too many things all at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get through all of that divine confidence.
Yes, change is so important. A world without change. Inconceivable, but... I don't like arrogance at all.
There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Then let's go. And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things?
I'd like that for old time's sake.
Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's a cabin, yeah? There isn't much here, just a table and a knife and a door. And some windows. There's no mirror, either. I think you broke it. And I know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but if things go south, we're going to need that blade.
I don't want to take the blade. I've taken it too often. Is it just you and me? Did anyone else make it to the cabin?
It's just us. I think the rest of them are still out there, jumbled up in the rest of her.
Is the narrator really gone?
Yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood. Pretty sure he got obliterated.
I don't actually know how to feel about him being gone.
Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he?
No blade, no blade.
No blade it is. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do without it, but your judgment has gotten us this far. The stairs. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice?
Have you figured out what you want to do yet, or are you going to keep trying to find a center that doesn't exist?
It sounded just like that. A little sharp, a little menacing. Only she didn't know us. And down we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting.
And there you are. Hands empty. So you don't feel like recreating our first meeting detail for detail. I wonder what else will be different. Maybe there's still room for us to chat before the final curtain call. What do you say?
So good to finally see you again.
Right back at you. In a way, it hasn't been much time at all, but it feels like it's been forever since I've seen you. Thanks for coming back.
I don't think I want to be a god.
Doesn't matter what we call ourselves. It's just another label, and I don't think labels have ever helped us. All they do is cram us into boxes where we don't fit.
Yeah, that's true. Can't shove people into labels. Of course, you also have to give them the freedom, because labels are, after all, a way to obtain an identity. Or at least try to find one.
Just like this cabin.
Sorry for all the times I've hurt you.
The first time we met, I cut your throat open. If anyone should be apologizing for anything, it should be me. You're only trying to help.
You know, when she puts it like that...
So now that at the end of everything, can you finally tell me your name?
I never had one. And do not call me the Shifting Mound. It's too much. But I've always been a princess to you, right? So why don't we stick with that? And as for you, well, hero works for me.
But that's me. You know, I think I like that.
What do you think of her, what she wanted us to be?
I don't think she's the sort of thing you can really disagree with. It doesn't matter if she's right or wrong because she exists. She's this big, unrelenting force, and there's no arguing with her.
Yeah, that's the trouble that happens when you bound important things to a singular will. They get all high and mighty, believing that they are correct, no matter what happens. Yep.
But I guess that was the question out there, wasn't it? And it was the question before you came down here, too. Should she get to exist? I'm glad you didn't bring that knife with you. And I don't want to be her, if that's what you're asking. I think I just want to be me.
Yeah, I'm happy not to be everything. Just being us is plenty.
Agreed. Which princess are you? You look like you did the first time we met. Is this the real you?
I'm the same princess that's been with you since the beginning. And I feel real. But I also feel like I'm a lot more than I was then. We've been through a lot together. I don't think there's anything more real than that.
No, this was really fair for either of us, was it?
No, it really wasn't. But just because it hasn't been fair doesn't mean that it hasn't been worth it. I'm really glad I got to know you.
What if we just leave?
Do you know where this cabin is? Because I don't. I don't even know what's supposed to be outside other than us. What would even happen if we leave? What would that even mean?
I don't know, but I always wanted to leave with you. I just didn't like being a god. I wanted to walk through that cabin door as we are, just you and me.
I want that too.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's for just the two of you.
Are you going to be okay alone?
Yeah, I'm not sure I'll be alone for too long anyways. The others are still around here somewhere. I'll find them.
You lead and the princess follows, and together you leave the basement behind for the last time. It's quiet as you ascend, a comfortable silence filling a space that used to be flooded with violence and words and noisy thoughts. But there is an energy in the silence, an electricity, the anticipation of the unknown. At the top of the stairs, the princess stalls, eyes fixed on the cabin door. You can see attention seize her. She is unsure of herself for the first time in her long and short existence. She has no part to play anymore, and she knows this, yet she still is. And then she crosses the room to the door outside. You follow her confident steps.
This is it. I have no idea what it's going to be like out there. Not that I'm scared or anything. It's exciting, really. Anything could happen. And if it's bad, then it won't be bad. Not with you.
Why not?
I love you too. But I'm trying not to be sappy about it. Don't make me get all emotional.
And there it ends. It's hard to talk. Yeah, it is. It's been rather difficult to speak for most of this part. Something catching in my throat a bit. Wow, that's a lot of localizations. Ah, yes, the creatures. Good ending to the pressing H. Oh. Hooray, I have the gallery now. The chippies are adorable, aren't they? Well, most of the chippies. Anyway, I think this is it for now. Yeah, we'll see each other in more familiar ground. One where time starts from the beginning again, until it reaches its end. Centuries later. But there is so much more to do, at least. And the task is so much bigger. Yeah, I'm going to work on finishing this game, but on my own. There are some things that are going to be especially difficult to do. I can't imagine dropping the head into the abyss. Or similar betrayals, perhaps. It's easy to go down the simple paths, but the harder ones... Well... There's nothing left to do but to end it here. After all things come to an end, even change eventually. That is the inevitable fate of the universe, to be damned to a boring, frozen existence of particles so far apart that they never can hope to interact with each other. And at that point, does time truly mean anything? Does it? Well, I'll leave you to that question. And we'll head back to more familiar territory, as I said. We'll be heading off to Italy, to one of the republics controlled by a dynasty. Less of a true republic and more of a sham republic. I'll see you there. Probably a bit more rested from this experience, and a little bit more energetic. And far less introspective, maybe. Well, I never truly stopped introspecting, do I? Anyway, I will see you then.